Hello, this is Dean Takahashi at GamesBeat. I'm here with Chris Heatherly
Hi
from
there.
NBC Universal. He's got a long title. You want to tell us your title?
I'm the Executive Vice President of Games and Digital Platforms, but I just normally say I'm the head of games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you spoke here at GamesBeat. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
And for supporting us as well. We appreciate that. And what you got going this year? You got some big games dropping.
We're launching games. Mm-hmm. We're finally launching games. So I came to NBC Universal 2.5 years ago, from Disney, and Universal wanted to make a flip. You know, had been doing licensing, but the games business was a pretty small business, and as Comcast kind of sees its future more and more in broadband, they wanted to make the flip over to publishing their own games, because that's driving a lot of the broadband consumption. And so they saw the opportunity, and so I built up a team. We're at about 65 right now. So we've hired people from. I brought over my core team from Disney, but we also brought over people from Scopely and Jam City and other places. So we got a pretty talented, especially mobile games team, not just mobile. And we're working primarily with third-party developers, but we're starting to launch some of our bigger games. So we're launching this week's series, which is a interactive storytelling game that has kind of like Episodes and Choices, but it has 60 Candles, Breakfast Club, Saved by the Bell, Xena Warrior Princess, Law and Order, Bridesmaids, and more IP. Vanderpump Rules for you Bravo fans. So we have a lot of, this is one of the things where not every IP we have as a company makes sense in the games business, but many of them work for the interactive storytelling genre. So that's why we've been so focused there. And so we're publishing that game.
Showing off the power of the huge portfolio there, too.
Yeah, the power of the huge portfolio, and continuing to go deeper and deeper into that, because we have so much more IP to work with. So we're launching that game this week, and we'll continue to add more and more stuff to it. We've also announced that we have entered into a deal with Starbreeze to publish Payday Mobile, and so they've been friends of ours for a long time. They wanted to take Payday into the mobile space. They don't have a lot of mobile publishing experience, and we do. So it's been a pretty good partnership, and so we're deep into making Payday Mobile right now, and hoping to get that out in the middle of the summer. And then we're going to publish 2 to 3 more games this year on mobile. I can't talk about what those are yet, but they're in different genres. Two puzzle games, one trivia game. So it's a pretty diverse slate. You've got sort of core, mid-core. You've got interactive storytelling. You've got puzzle games. And we're just continuing to go through the NBC portfolio and look for additional opportunities. And then next year, we'll start getting into console titles. We have 2 or 3 things we're working on the console front. So one of them is bigger, and a couple of them are smaller. We really like this kind of $20, $30, kind of self-contained title. Not a lot of what our expertise is in games as a service, so we'll do a lot of that, but we want to put some focus on some of these things that can be more kind of self-contained artistic works. And I guess the last thing I would say is, I wanted to keep a lane open to do innovative stuff too. So we've last year we did a big location-based VR. It's the most played location-based VR experience, Jurassic World Expedition with Dave & Buster's.
Yeah.
And so we continue to look at more and more of those types of things as well.
Cool. Well, I was talking earlier about the sort of intentional game companies, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, and then the unintentional or accidental guys like Google, Amazon, Facebook, Tencent. They're all sort of realizing the power of games and becoming more intentional. And it looks like the same thing has happened with Hollywood too. Really, everybody's sort of waking up to games.
Yeah, to different degrees. Obviously, my Disney, where I used to work, is take a decision they don't want to be in that space for various reasons. We look a lot at Warner, and they have a big business in games, both in console and mobile. They own their own studios. I think, when I came on to Universal, I talked to the leadership a lot about this, and I'd say it's definitely an intentional but very staged, deliberate approach, which is to say that we looked at a lot of what's gone wrong with some of the failed starts in movie studios, and what I said was, let's focus on the publishing organization. Let's build the apparatus to publish and live operate these games. Let's work with third-party game studios. Let's not engorge ourselves on buying a bunch of devs. Let's see what developer relationships work, and then downstream, if it makes sense, we can acquire those studios in success. And so, I've tried to be very cognizant of how this can go wrong, having lived it once before, and trying not to overextend. Comcast and NBC Universal, because starting a business from scratch like this, you're going to have bumps in the road. You're going to have titles that don't work, and if you you need to set yourself up to weather that storm. If you own the studio on top of it, you can wind up damaging the studio. Maybe you got to lay people off, as I've had to do before, and it's better to kind of take a more staged, cautious approach and sort of ramp up in success, which is how we're doing it.
Cool. Very good.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for the chat.
Yeah.